Allah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم لهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين وعلينا معهم وفيهم برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, continuing Al-Rahma of Ramadan. Today is 27th of Ramadan. In any case, Alhamdulillah, brothers have been diligently Allah accept. Today is going to be very brief, but we just didn't want to break it up. We didn't want to disrupt the progress. We read even a little bit of the wisdom of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. We're actually just going to read the hadith today. Inshallah ta'ala. And then we have the 28th and 29th for sure. That's the 30th. We hope we have one more day of Ramadan, but we don't know. Fast based on when the Hilal of Shawwal is cited and break it based on Hilal of Shawwal is cited. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said to us explicitly in Sahih Hadith, Allah knows when we will be. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has pursued to attend all of Ramadan, to fulfill Zakat Fitr. May Allah bless us in the last night of Ramadan and then later to the Eid. We give life to the night on the Eid for Eid as we do each year. It comes in Athar. Whoever gives life to the 2 nights before the 2 Eids, Allah gives life to his heart on the day the heart dies. So we give life to the night and Eid. So some brothers that were in the Itikaf will stay in Itikaf through the night. Many people gotta go clean up and they might come back during the night. Inshallah ta'ala will give life to the night before Eid. And inshallah ta'ala we're going to pray Eid here either on Sunday or on Monday. Advertising the 8 a.m. time for the Eid prayer. And that means takbirs and prayers, so there might be takbirs while people wait for prayer for a little while. So we're advertising 8 a.m. Those that have been here since all night or since 5 a.m. we're going to pray and get on to the other locations, inshallah. And also those that need to go to work too. We have early prayer Thursday, inshallah. And then the Zakat Fitr. The Zakat Fitr is an obligation. It was permissible from the beginning of Ramadan. It becomes obligatory with Maghrib on the last day of Ramadan. We'll read through some more considerations of that, maybe on Al-Rahma on the 29th, inshallah ta'ala. But everybody should be preparing to pay Zakat Fitr. Inshallah ta'ala, we'll go over some more of that. And we paid on the Hanafi school because they're the only school of the Sunnah wal Jama'ah that allows cash. Otherwise, you have to pay it in staple grain. So for example, in Qabalamot, where Sayyid Hamza's from, where we studied, and my son is now studying there, my eldest sons, Ahmed there. I was just talking to him about how to pay Zakat Fitr. So when we put out wheat, right? So they put out the staple grain there, and in that case it's wheat. It's not wheat flour, it's wheat grain. And there are mills that will mill it for people, and that's still an industry there, so it's practical to have people wheat. People still go to the stores and buy sacks of wheat for themselves. But in a place like this, it's not as easy to do, and people don't eat easily the volume of rice that we would give everybody who's distributing rice. I did my first years in Michigan distribute food on my own, but given the number of family members I had and what the need was, it was hard to find sufficient for people to give that much rice to. And that we use it in our community, especially the indigenous American born community, we don't use rice like that. So we did our brother Sheikh Yahya, he told me that they put out cash there at Al-Muqasid and then he sends money to Sadim to put out food for him. So we adopted that position. That's what we've been doing. And that fulfills it in the Hanafi school in a way that's really good for poor here. Most people are going to be happier to get cash and get a bag of rice. and it's going to fulfill their needs better. And and then if one also gave out food in some of the other schools, that would encompass that. But there still are those that look like the cat that would be transported to another place. So that that's the Hanafi that carries us there, and those that allow transport carry us in food position. And Allah knows best. La ilaha illallah. The point is, favors cats. Saw him in a lovely love. It's a purification for someone who fasts from idleness and anything abusive that they engaged in. And it is like the prostration of forgetfulness for the one who's praying. It is for the fast, and the prostration of forgetfulness is for the prayer. La ilaha illallah. Maybe it's my voice muffled, inshallah. Muffled by thirst. Maybe it's something else. Bismillah. So we're going to read some hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam again for closing in what is going to be a true show today. So this is with our chain to Imam al-Bukhari. In his Sahih, he said, Babu Siyami Ayyam al-Bir, Thalatha Ashrata wa Arba'a Ashrata wa Khamsa Ashrata. This is a chapter of fasting the bright nights. The bright nights. But so when إذا تقول أيام البيض لكن الكلام ليس على اليوم وعلى الليل. هناك إضافة مقدمة. أيام ليالي البيض. So these are the days of the bright nights, meaning full moon nights. So people might call them the white days or white nights, or we could say bright nights. But what it means is the nights that the moon is full. That's the days of the nights that the moon is full. What are those in the month? 13th, 14th, and 15th of that month. So he says the chapter of fasting, days of the bright nights, 13th, 14th, and 15th of what? The new month. وبه قال حدثنا أبو معمر قال حدثنا عبد الوارث قال حدثنا أبو التياح قال حدثني أبو عثمان عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال أوصاني خليلي صلى الله عليه وسلم بثلاث صيام 3 أيام من كل شهر وركعتي الضحى وأن أوتر قبل أن أنام. الله أكبر. So Sayyidina Abu Hurairah said, my dear one counseled me, meaning the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He calls him Khalili, the one that was dear to me. He counseled me to do 3 things: fast 3 days in each month, pray 2 rakas of ad-duha, and perform witr prior to sleeping. Allahu Akbar. And we covered in the discussion of witr. No, we didn't. Where did we cover this? We covered this in Targheeb. In any case, La ilaha illallah, there are those that pray witr prior to sleeping and those that pray witr after awakening at the end of the night. And it's preferable for some to pray before sleeping and preferable for others to pray after awakening before the end of the night. Someone who has a custom and they're confident they're going to get up at the end of the night, it is better to wait and pray witr at the end of the night. Someone who does not have that custom and is not confident that they're going to get up, it is better for them to pray it prior to sleeping. And if they awaken, they can pray more witr, and that is also their tahajjud. La ilaha illallah. And of the great Sahaba, Sayyidina Abu Bakr would pray witr prior to sleeping, and Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhuma would pray it after sleeping. 2 positions, and those are, those go back. People have different habits in terms of sleeping, in terms of how easy they wake up, in terms of whether they're more energetic in the early morning or in the night, whether they're a night person or a day person, what their occupation is, all of those things. but so it's not all one answer for everyone. And notice that was a chapter of Siyam Ayam al-Bid, but there's not mention of Ayam al-Bid. It's just mention of fasting 3 days. If you're going to fast 3 days, the best 3 days are Ayam al-Bid, but the Prophet ﷺ did not always specifically do that. So any 3 days counts as 3 days of our fast. And there were other ways he did it. In Nabahani Shemayah, in the description of the fast of the Prophet ﷺ, he gives lengthy hadith of the various ways the Prophet ﷺ would fast 3 days in a month. And there's many ways to do it. The best of them are 13, 14, 15, but it's by no means the only way to do it. And then he said with the chain to him, Babu man zara qawman falam yuftir indahum. Long. وبه إليه قال حدثنا محمد بن المثنى قال حدثني خالد وهو ابن الحارث قال حدثنا حميد عن أنس رضي الله عنه قال دخل النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عن أم سليم فأتته بتمر وسم قال أعيدوا سمنكم في سقائكم وتمركم في وعيكم فإني صائم. Allahu Akbar. So this one referred to Anas. The Prophet ﷺ came to Sulaim and she was mahram for him. Sulaim was mahram for the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So she brought him dates and some oil. So he said, you can put your oil back in its vessel and your dates back in their container, or I am fasting. He excused himself from that meal. ثم قام إلى ناحية من البيت فصلى غير المكتوبة فدعا لأم سليم وأهل بيتها فقالت أم سليم يا رسول الله إن لي خويسة قال ما هي قالت قادمكم أنس ما ترك خير آخرة ولا دنيا إلا دعا لي به. So then she said, so then Allah's messenger stood in the corner of the house and prayed, other than the obligatory prayer, prayed voluntary prayer. And he made dua for Sulaim and the people of her house. And then she said, O Messenger of Allah, I have a little special request. Lay your saw. A little special need. And he said, what is that? She said, your servant Anas. So Anas said, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't leave any good of this world or of the afterlife or of the world except that he prayed for me to have it. قال اللهم ارزقه مالا وولدا وبارك له. He said, Oh Allah, provide him with wealth, children, and bless that for him. فإني لمن أكثر الأنصار مالا. Said, surely I am from the most wealthy of the Ansar. وحدثني ابنتي أميمة أنه دفن بصلب مقدام حجاج البصرة 27 ومئة. And then the narrator said that his daughter Umayma told him that prior to or at the time of Hajjaj coming to Basra, from the offspring that originate from Anas, 120 were buried. Right? 120. And that's not those that were still alive, very later. So very abundant lineage by the barakah of this khidmah for the Prophet ﷺ, his connection to the Prophet ﷺ, dua for him, radiallahu anhu. وفيه إليه قال حدثنا ابن أبي مريم قال أخبرنا يحيى قال حدثني حميد سمع أنسا رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. He doesn't add more, it's just a different chain to the same hadith. Allahu Akbar. So they received the Prophet visiting communities, members of the Ansar, in their houses, praying for them. But the chapter heading was being hosted by someone while fasting and declining to eat, which is fine to do. However, if it upsets your host, it's better to break your fast and eat. And then the madhabs differ as to the permissibility of that. In the Shafi'i school, someone who's doing a voluntary fast is his own amir. He can decide himself what he's going to do. Some of the schools, it's not permissible to break a voluntary fast. In the Shafi'i school, it's permissible to break a voluntary fast, recommended if your host is going to be offended by you not breaking it, nor is it obligatory to make it up. But other schools differ, and Allah knows best. صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين الفاتحة. الذين آمنوا وتطمئن قلوبهم بذكر الله لا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب وبذكر فاعلم أنه لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله